Greetings, Star Trek Fleet Commanders. I am the Angry Rhino. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. So yes, title of this video, Scotty Comparables. Now, I don't have Scotty. Obviously, that's why I'm calling it comparable. Two officers already exist in this game that have, we'll say, similar wording and or similar abilities. While let's say his below deck ability has a few other officers, I will point more towards Strange New Worlds James Kirk. I know Pike has the officer ability, it's similar, but if you look at it, it does say fighting hostiles, Pike decreases hostile shield mitigation by 35%. And now, okay. That, the wording is what I'm really looking at here. James Kirk reduces, not decreases, reduces enemy shield mitigation by 40%. This is all versus non-Armada hostiles. The difference is Pike's and his 35% comes right off of that 80% for 45%. Check my math there. But here with James T. Kirk, how it works is 40% of that 80%. Which, this is worded just like Scotty. So, is it possible Scotty's a straight subtraction? Sure. It's possible. Really only one way to find out. And I don't have it. But again, the specific wording here. That is the way that they've been going with this type of ability. Having it more multiplicative or dividended. Yes, multiplication and dividing versus adding and subtracting. There is a difference there. We have dealt with that in a few other areas in this game. And another for his officer ability, I'm going with 5 of 11. Yeah, there are several abilities around here that increases your loot for hostiles or armadas or invading entities or all of it. Difference between Scotty and 5 of 11 is Scotty just 125% versus armadas. 5 of 11 increases the amount of resources your ship receives from hostiles. Now, it does say from hostiles, but it doesn't say not armada hostiles. Because back in the day, the way things are worded comes up again. Armada is technically considered hostiles. As weird as that is, that is why they have gone to non-armada hostiles for some of this language where things just work against hostiles. Now, what that also means, 511 works against invading entities. Scotty does not. And okay, 511 maxes out at 100%. Scotty maxes out at 125%. You're right, that is 25% more against only armadas. Is that better? Debatable. Because, first of all, how long have some of you been playing this game? Where's your 5 of 11 at? Scotty just gets released now. Where's he going to be at? How long is it going to take him to get up to where his numbers are even close to 5 of 11s? Well, it depends on how much you spend. Some of us aren't going to spend shit. Some of us are going to buy them outright. Depends on you as a player. But I got to say, for Scotty only being good against armadas, not hostiles, not mining, not invading entities, just armadas, a 25% increase is not enough. It's not enough to make me think, oh, Scotty's a really good officer. I look at him and I just say, meh. He's fine. He can be useful. But something I've been or a phrase I've been using recently, power creep multiplier. As new things come out, they get better and better. I mean, that makes sense. You want new officers, there have been new loops. These new officers, instead of doing 100% to your bonus loot, 100 damage, which we have some officers for that, or take a look at Bones. Same below deck ability as Tom Paris, except the number values are bigger for McCoy. Why is that? He's newer. He's supposed to be looked at as better. Otherwise, who cares? So, I guess that's really what I'm going with Scotty. Is just he's not that much better. If at all. Because how many researches, fleet commander abilities, artifacts, or what have you, increase the loot from armadas? Quite a few of them out there. So, if I'm already at 250% or 300%, even with 5, is another 25%. Let's say I'm swapping Scotty in for 511, is another 25% going to really do anything for me? I was already at 250 or 300. 25% doing enough? Is it an increase? Sure. Is it doing enough for me to care? No. In my mind, no. Yeah. Guess it's going to be one of those videos. It's just not good enough. I like the idea of it. I do. I like the idea of his above deck ability giving us more loot. I don't like that it's just armadas, because then it doesn't also work against evading entities, which, again, doesn't make it as good. And the same for his below deck ability. I like the idea of changing that, we'll call it an equation, of the shield absorption. By default, it is 80% to the shields, 20 to the hull, until the shields are depleted. Now, there is at least one research. I feel like there was more researches. I was looking around there, I couldn't find it. I found the one that was in the G5 superhighway area. First 2 rounds of combat, you get an extra 2.5. So that would change it to, I'm sorry, drawing a blank. 77.5% to the shields, 22.5 to the hull. Okay, I mean, it's a very small number. Doesn't do a whole lot. It does something. Or, you know what? Let me just go find it. I'll just, for accuracy's sake. Actually, now I'm thinking, is it 5% or is it 2.5%? I don't remember. Because there's 2 of them. There's one that increases your shield absorption, and then there's one that decreases the opponent. It's the other way. It's over here. Yeah, because there's the shielding that increases yours by 2.5, and then there's this one that decreases your opponent's by 2.5. And they cost, what the fuck do they cost? I don't remember. I did a video on it when I was going through these super highways. The faction intelligence. So yeah, that gets factored in. And it's just, again, I like the idea of that ability. It just doesn't do enough. Give you a few examples. We'll say where to start. I went and I killed a bunch of hostiles last night. Some just for my dailies. This is my normal daily grinding crew now. Yeah. Because I need more cargo. Because I want the fucking ship parts. And it doesn't matter. I get the kills anyway. So I need the cargo capacity. You can see here me doing all this damage. Blah, blah, blah. 200 million to the shields. 60 million to the hull. Okay? Nothing's really affecting that except that one research. But again, one round. It's one round. Though at the same time, it did take me 1 salvo, 2 salvos, 3 salvos to kill the hostile. Okay. Come on up further. That's this one here. Oh, this is just me hitting interceptors. I did hit interceptors and explorers and battleships just to have as much data as I could without, having to do it in this video. Then I went and I killed a few things with pike. Demonstrate that ability. I guess these 3 right here. 2. I only killed 2. Okay. I wish I could mark. And I don't want to mark him to mark as red, but put a star next to him so I know which stupid battle log I'm trying to get into. Yeah, okay, this is a patrol. This is the Explorer. And again, this was with pike, changing it from 80-20 to 45-55. You can see he actually did something for you here because the shields are still up. And that's why I talk about the ability not being good enough for Scotty. And it's really not good enough for Kirk. And I honestly don't think it's good enough for Pike because it just doesn't do that much. Okay, it does a little bit more here. Why? You're moving the damage from a split between the shields and the hull to trying to focus more of that on the hull. Because you can kill a hostile with shields up, but no hull. You can't do the opposite, right? You can't deplete the shields and not deplete the hull. So the idea is moving some of your damage from the shields to the hull to completely bypass the shields. Did I hit another one? Yeah, guard here. Now see how far these shields go down. The idea, again, is to bypass the shields and deal damage directly to the hull, thus needing less damage overall, because you don't have to go through the shields. But yet I went through the shields here. And why that is, come down to the little I button here, you can see 13 billion on the shields, 19 billion on the hull. I moved it so I do less damage to the shields and more to the hull, and I still took the shields down. Okay, it did something against Pike's ability, worked against the explorers, didn't work against the battleships. Does that make the ability good or not? Are you always going to fight explorers? I would say, there's explorers, there's interceptors, there's battleships, there's survey ships. You're not always going to be fighting explorers. Sometimes you're going to have to hit battleships. You're going to have to hit interceptors. And you're going to have to hit survey ships. So if the officer is only good against explorers, then is it really that good? Oh, but is it always good? No, it's a patrol. Is it always good against explorers? Well, I'll show you a few hostiles where it's not. Here's what you're really looking for and where you're going to get some actual use out of the ability. When the shields are, I don't want to say much bigger, but noticeably bigger. If this number was 17 instead of 23, but you still had 15 on the hull, it's not that much of a difference. 2 billion, when you're talking about a total hit points over 3 billion, it's not that much. But when your total hit points are 39 billion, 23 billion are shields, that's a different ratio. That's closer to 2/3 shields. 2/3 shields, 1/3 hull. That's maybe how you got to think about it. Shields being on top. Okay, it does something here. Does it do enough? I don't know. Now that was Strange New World Pike. That is not Strange New World Kirk. Strange New World Kirk, I'm assuming, I don't know unless I have Scotty, the wording is very similar, if not the exact same. So I'm going to say Strange New World Kirk is how Scotty's abilities are going to behave. Why are the shields down here? You come to the shots. Look at the difference here. It's only... Yes, we're talking about trillions of damage. 3.1 trillion damage here to the shield, 3.6 damage to the hull. That's not a huge difference. It's not. That's why it's not as effective. You're not doing more. Or you need to do less to the shields, more to the hull. Otherwise, you take down the shields anyway. This number needs to be smaller. This number needs to be bigger in order for the ability to actually do anything for you. And honestly, I looked at Strange New World Pike and I'm thinking, oh, that's why I figured out, or maybe I gathered more evidence. Now, I have talked about this before. It's not like I've never done a video about this, but it is always useful to get the good kind of evidence. The evidence for Pike was that you straight subtract 35 from 80. Here with Kirk, it's multiplied. It's 40% of 80. It's not subtracting 40% from 80 and getting 40%. That's not how it works. I hit a few other things. Okay, that was actually Q Trials, wasn't it? This is the guard here. Shield's still up. Or I mean, shield's down. Shield's down. I had one where the shield actually was up a little bit. And it really confused the shit out of me. Oh, this one. The shields are still technically up here. It's a teeny tiny ass amount, which is weird. But it's still up. Of course, it's the same split here. 40% of 80% is what? 32%. So 80 minus 32 is 48. 48% to the shields, 52% to the hull. That's why the shields are up a little bit. But again, does this really do anything for you? 1 salvo, 2 salvo, 3 salvos. Does it really do anything for you? Does it really do anything for you? Now, I feel like there was another recon here. The shields are actually higher. Oh, that's why. Because I combined their two abilities. So I figured out that worked a lot better. 1.3 trillion billion. 1.3 billion. 1.3 billion to the shields, 5.5 billion to the hull. Okay? That did a lot more. Now you got the synergy here because it's the captain ability and also Pike's officer ability in there. And it's still not 100%, which is weird. That's so weird. But again, it's just not good enough. Because we already have Scotty's ability. We almost got Scotty's ability twice. Plus then there's Harrison. Though Harrison's only in the first round. We couldn't get a little more? Okay, it's fine. Alright, now let's go and look at some of the other hostiles where that could benefit you. Because as I'm showing you, look, unless the shields are noticeably bigger than the hull, it doesn't really do anything for you. Let's take a look at a few hostiles where you might want to use it. You want to kill Gorn? Could be useful against Gorn. Oh, that's not the button. It's not the scan button, idiot. There you go. Good job. Oh, well, I guess I didn't have to hit that. 496 million on the shields, 800 on the hull. Well, that's not do it. Let's try an Explorer. Nope, it's the same. Let's try an Interceptor. Nope, it's the same. Oh, that's another spot I wanted to go. Well, I guess I could use... Where the fuck is it? Here you go. The new hostiles. Just peer in here a bit. Check out some of these guys. Or girls. Girls. They're girls. Look at this hull. And 286 on the hull, 71 billion on the shields. The shields are smaller. Is Scotty going to do you anything here? No. That's odd. You think you're bringing out these new officers. They're going to do something for you in the new loot. 45 on the shields. 108 on the hull. Where's an interceptor? 58 on the shields. 235 on the hull. Nope. Nothing there. Oh, maybe they went back for a little further to the waves. Nope. Because went through that already. The shields are ridiculously small. Ridiculously small. What the hell was that? What? I can't remember. The stupid hostiles. What stupid loop? Elorian. I guess I could look at that. I don't really care about the Elorians. I'll look at them in a minute when this thing refreshes. Oh, it did refresh. Where the fuck is it? It's over here somewhere. There's silent. Elorian is right here. What are these guys at? Or maybe they're girls. Nope, they're guys. 17 billion on the shield. 70 billion on the hull. You can take down the shields anyway. Again, unless you're moving it by a considerable amount. Maybe flipping it. 20% to the shields, 80% to the hull. It's not going to do anything. Because the shields are too small. You're going to take down the shields anyway. So what is the point of having the ability? Unless you got, what? Kirk, Pike, and Scotty below. Sure, I guess. It's a lot of epic officers just to get the one ability to do what you want it to do. Instead of them just making it bigger. Whatever. What else did I want to take a look at? Did I look at these assholes? I was trying to go back and think about who it was. We've gotten Waves this year. Krenim shit, but that's Armada and evading entities. That's not going to play. You got the Elorians, and then you got... The hell did they bring out last year? Trying to remember. I mean, I know Mirror Universe, but what was in between Mirror Universe and the Elorian hostiles? Was there anything? Maybe there was nothing. I don't remember. Can't keep some of this shit straight. There's too many stupid ass loops in here. But while we're in here, let's take a look at these assholes. What's that? 11 trillion shields, 17 trillion on the hull. Now this is one spot where I think some of this changing the shield absorption is going to actually work out for you. I actually like using Harrison here because I want to kill him in the first round. And no, I'm not. That's not the button I wanted. And I'm not going after the interceptors here. I'm going after the battleships. So I'm trying to move all the damage off the shields and onto the hull and kill him in the first round so the go-home cannon is rendered useless. But, I mean, the shields are smaller than the hull. Where the fuck else was I going to go? Oh, Mirror Universe. Yeah, I can go down to the Mirror Universe. Show you some of the shit I've killed here. You see a day and a half ago, you notice how many hostiles I kill. Now, these are the Omega dickheads. Not the other dickheads. But here you go, 2.7 shields, 4 billion there on the hull. Fuck, I don't remember which one that was. Let's see, Bird of Prey. Let's go, Bird of Prey. Shields are smaller there. Galore class. I think that was the one I looked at. Shields are still smaller. Recon. Shields are still smaller. Actually, let's go there and let's look. Where are some of the big ass ones? Let's look here. Be nice if I could see a Hoji, but what's a Bob chick in here? Oh, some dickhead in here killing everything. Yeah, I probably can't see the Enterprise E or whatever. 35 to 52. Nope, shields are smaller. 37, 55. Shields are still smaller. Nah, I'm not going to wait for an Enterprise E to come up. Wrap this video up a little bit. So, what I'm trying to explain to you is Scotty's ability just isn't that good. And for me, it just doesn't feel worth going after. As you can see. Yeah. First time in a while, I have spent nothing. No materials. I just don't want to. And especially because he starts out really low. He starts out barely useful. At all. 20% Armada loot, which is not a lot at all. And then 10% in the shield mitigation, shield absorption, reduction. That's not a lot. It's just not enough for me. It's just not enough for me to care. Especially when I already have officers that do the same thing. Can it be a little better? Usually that's how you entice people to go after the new things. It's new and it's better. It's not just we're going after it because it's new. It's not necessarily better than what we already have. It's just new. But you know what? Don't follow what I tell you to do. Follow what you want to do. Do you want to go after Scotty? Do you want that extra 125% whenever you max him? Because that's the thing. It's not a captain ability like, say, Strange New World Kirk, where you can increase that ability with synergy. The only way to increase Scotty's ability is to increase his tier and get more shards. How are you going to do that? Yeah, that's another thing. Okay, so you unlock him. All right, well, you got an extra 20% loot. That doesn't do a whole lot. Is that worth combat abilities? It damn sure isn't worth swapping out 5. Is it worth not having a combat ability on your... Oh, is my shield down? I think my shield's coming down soon. Okay, let me pop the shield real quick. Yes, I mean, it's definitely going to be worth more at max again, but until you get there, it's not. And unless you can find hostiles where the shields are, again, noticeably bigger than the hull, then the ability doesn't really do anything for you in the first place. Because the objective with the ability is to attack the hull, bypass the shields and attack the hull. To not deal with those big ass shields. Not have those shields soak up as much damage. Therefore, you would do less damage. You would have to do less damage with the Strange New World Kirk and Pike and Scotty. Their abilities are designed to, let's say, reduce the damage. But if the values aren't big enough, it's not going to work. It just doesn't work. And yeah, I probably made this video go on a little longer than it really needed to. And maybe I'm harping on something that I've already harped on and some of you already know. Oh well. Comment below. Did I do a good enough job of being clear why I don't think the abilities are good enough? Did it make sense? You still having trouble understanding what I'm trying to tell you? And do you think I'm wrong? Do you think Scotty is worth going after? Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm the Angry Rhino. Shields up, Commanders.